I'm going through a very transformative process in my life journey right now. Um, so I'm in the middle of moving house, and I am doing a surrender experiment with the universe. We're playing kind of like a game, me and the universe, where I have no idea where I'm going. Like, I don't know where I'm moving to. And my dream or my desire of where I want to go keeps changing and evolving. And I'm just trusting that and staying open. Um, Even though, like, every time I've moved house in the past has been so stressful, so scary, so like difficult for me, has been a time of like escaping myself, stress eating, just doing everything I can to try to avoid the feelings of like uncertainty. But this time I'm just so deeply like staying in it. And even though there is a polarity, of course, there is still that behavior, that pattern of escapism coming and going, but it's not an everyday thing. It's not like I'm living in that escapism as I used to. So I'm really happy. I'm super grateful that I have these waves of fear and like of the uncertainty of where I'm going to be living, where my cat's going to go, my beautiful baby girl Winnie, um, because I'm going traveling, and I know that that's what my heart wants, and that's what I'm being called towards. I'm being called to go home to my where I grew up, Tasmania. Um, and even though that's the opposite of where I thought I was going, I have this calling to just go there before I leave Australia for good. So I am feeling a lot of emotions about traveling and about leaving Perth, and about where I'm headed. And this beautiful thing, the reason, something I really wanted to share, that happened to me just now. I just got home from one of the most fun drives that I've ever been on. Like, it was such a nice journey. It was such a fun journey. And the reason why it was so fun was because I didn't, so I didn't know how I was going to get home. I was in my car. Usually I have my maps on, but this time I just decided to go intuitively and just trust where my intuition led me to get home. So I chose to go the path that I didn't know how to, like the uncertain path. I chose the path of the unknown, and it was like a little experiment for me, just to trust my intuition and see where it led me. And during the whole process, I was like having the same fears that I've been going through with moving house. So these like waves of fear like coming through me, being like, fuck, I have no idea where I am. Like this realization, like I have no idea where I am. I have no idea if I'm going the right way. I don't know what I'm doing. And then I would get this intuitive feeling like, go that way. And so I would just take a random turn on this random street, and then I would go that way for a bit. And then when it felt right, I would change directions again. And so I did this like little zigzag all the way home, um, going through streets that I've never been through before, seeing parts of Perth that I've never seen before. Like, and I've lived here for 11, 12 years now. So it was so beautiful, like practicing that trust again and again as all of these fears kept coming up. It was literally just me driving home. But because I didn't know the way I was going, and I didn't know where I was or where I was going to end up, or if I was going the right way, or, all I could see was the city, and I knew I needed to go past the city. And so I just trusted my intuition and my guidance, and I trusted every turn and every step and every little, those little niggles of feeling. I would just listen to them, and I was really present with my fear, or the fear that that was present within me, the uncertainty. So it was a really beautiful experience, and I wanted to share that. It's okay to be scared when you don't know. Like, I realize for me personally, it's okay to be scared when I don't know where I'm going. That's a normal thing of being a human. when you first start to follow your calling and you start to trust your intuition, sometimes it can feel so uncomfortable, and like part of you really doesn't want to do it. And that's because we are afraid of the unknown. And that's something that actually, I don't know if it goes away. I don't know if that fear ever changes, but one thing I do know is that that voice of intuition gets louder. Um, that voice of intuition's my cat. The voice of intuition gets louder when you start to listen to it more, and you start to see how when you follow it, it works out. And that's all about being the that vibration of things working out is just the vibration of openness and trusting. It's the feeling of being open and mentally and emotionally open to what could unfold. Like everything on that journey in the car, everything that kept happening, like when I would have like these feelings of like fear, I would just open back up and I would be like, okay, I'm feeling fear, I'm feeling uncertainty because I don't know where I am. This happened so many times throughout this. It was like a 50-minute drive. And like a fear would be like, oh, I don't know where I am. I don't know. Oh, I kind of recognize that street. Maybe I should try and follow that and follow my way back to the way that I know. Like that my brain was trying to get me back onto the path of certainty, of where it was trying to find a way for me to get back to the roads that I know so that I could feel more secure because I knew how to get home. But then it kept saying to me in my mind, like the intuition was like, just enjoy the journey. Like don't stress about rushing to the destination. It doesn't, like, it's about the journey. It's about the journey. It just kept saying like, it's like open up to experiencing the journey. And it was really beautiful because then I started to like look around me and look at what I was driving past, look at the houses and see what there was to see. And like, what is this offering me where I am now? Like maybe I'm not home, maybe I'm not on the straight path home, but I am here. This is where I've been led. What's around me? What am I being shown? Like what is there to experience where I am now, you know? And it was like this beautiful openness of like, oh yes, like there's something here for me as well, you know, like there's something valuable in this experience as well, not knowing where I'm going, and not knowing where I am and not knowing if I'm going the right way. Like it was just so like, it was so such a mixture of like fear and also like complete like openness and trust. And I'm not saying that I trust all the time, and I'm not saying that I'm a like master at trusting the universe, because I'm definitely not. Like there is so much intense fear that I feel when I do these things, but it was just something deeper within me was just like open, just stay open. And I just, the only way I can the only way that I can think of to be open is just to be like, okay, well, that like there must be something here for me. Like being like, okay, well, there must be something good coming out of this. Like, yes, maybe it's not the way that I thought I was going to go. Maybe it's not the way that I know, but maybe it's better. And it ended up being better because then at the end, I literally like turned off of this random street that I didn't like. I was just driving like I didn't know where I was going. Some car like actually stopped so that I could go in because I didn't know whether to go straight or that way. And then I ended up turning, and then I was driving along this road for a little bit, and then all of a sudden the street names on some signs I drove past were like, and then I saw them and I realized I was like 2 minutes away from home, and like I knew exactly where I was, and I was like, oh, so it had been guiding me through the streets of Perth, like through the most peaceful drive ever during peak hour traffic, getting me home, um, in less than it would have taken me to go the way that I knew. But also it wasn't about the time. I just kept hearing that. It's not about the time that it takes. It's not about getting there in the most efficient way. It's not about like it's not about the destination. It's about the journey. It's about being open to what's around you now and staying in that heart space of trusting where you are and enjoying where you are. Because when you enjoy it and when you're trusting in it and when you're in that experience and in that moment, in that feeling of like joy and like openness, that's abundance. That's what attracts even more. Like, no, that's not where I want to go with that. That is what makes it easy for you to continue to follow your intuition. That's what makes it easier to feel what feels right to you and what feels good to you and what makes you feel good and curious, and it like, what are you being pulled towards, and it's so much easier to listen to and feel and understand and receive what you're being pulled towards when you're in that place of trust and openness and like playfulness. It's like a game, like I said in the beginning of this video. It's like a game that I was playing with the universe. It was like, oh, do I go here, do I go here? And I was just following like where I'm going, and I was like, oh, I don't know where I am. Oh, I know where I am. No, I don't know where I am. And like fear, and then joy, and then fear, and then like joy, and then curiosity, and then like play, and then like amusement. Like it was super amusing. Um, this drive home, like I know that it was such like it's so funny how like the most profound spiritual lessons can just be like such important like aspects that we need to learn can just be from such simple things, like not like just going home but not knowing how I was going to get there. Like my journey was such a fun experience because it wasn't perfect either. Like there was the fears and there was the doubts and the panic of like, I don't know where the fuck I am. But at the same time, I was going through those motions of the panic and the pattern that I'm used to, that like I need to know where I'm going. I need to check my phone. I need to like find the way home. I need to find my way back to the path that I know. But then I was moving out of that, through that actually, into like trust and not knowing and just being okay with where I am, looking around me, being present with where the spirit was taking me and like how it was taking me there, and how nice it is to feel like it doesn't matter if you're in the wrong place or you think you're in the wrong place. Maybe you're not in the wrong place. For me, that was what it was. It was this proving the ego wrong, proving like the voice in the head that was saying that I'm going the wrong way. What if I'm going backwards? Or what if this is wrong? I just felt like, yeah, I just felt like I was able to be proven wrong. That voice of fear was able to be proven wrong. And in the end, it really was. And it was really magic. And it was because I was open to it. It's because I let myself trust where I was being led, and trust the universe and trust life. And yeah, and even though I'm in one of the most scary feeling times in my life right now, everything's changing around me. Like literally, like everything is changing, and all around me, physically, emotionally, energetically, I'm changing on the inside. Like I'm having one of the most profound transformations, most like deepest transformations that I've ever had. And I'm just having the most like magic, like it's just beyond words what I'm experiencing, and it's so magical and it's so beautiful, and my gifts, they're flourishing. Like my soul is coming to the forefront, my heart's opening, like my purpose is becoming so much more potent, and I'm seeing my effect in other people's lives, and I'm seeing my light shining through me and sparkling for other people. And amidst all of it, I'm still able to be like shining, and in one of the most challenging times emotionally for me is also been one of the most beautiful transformative times. And yeah, it makes me emotional because I just never I didn't believe that this could be possible. The past versions of me would never have believed that I could be having such a beautiful experience going through one of the most toughest and most challenging times. Moving house is such a trigger. It is such a massive trigger. And then plus moving somewhere I don't know where I'm going. Moving out but not knowing where. And also with my beautiful baby girl Winnie, I'm still waiting to hear back about where she's going to go. And I trust that this part of her journey and my journey together is actually to separate. And she's going to go live in a stable home with another family in the back. And I'm going to end up going traveling, and that's what's best for both of us right now. And I know that because I'm connected with her higher self, and this is what her higher self told me to make me feel better, because I was feeling so guilty, because I was like, oh, I need to keep her, like she's mine. No one's gonna love her like me. But I don't believe that anymore. I really do believe that her journey is to go somewhere different, just to have a new owner, to have a new, not even an owner, a new companion, or companions, a new family, whatever. I don't know where she's going. And that scares me to death, but it also really excites me, because I can feel all of it at once, and it's just crazy, like how deeply moving this experience is for me. In the middle of Mercury retrograde as well, like it's a fucking shit show, but it's so good. Like I'm loving it. My emotions are all over the place. I got Scorpio moon at the moment. By the way, if you haven't looked into solar revolution, look into solar revolution, because your moon and all of your aspects except for your sun change every year, and according to where you live or move to, and according to what year it is. So this year in Perth, my moon's in Scorpio. So I'm going super deep into emotions, and yeah. So everything's just a lot right now. Everything's just a lot right now, and I'm I think I'm doing really well, honestly. Yeah, yeah, I just wanted to share that stuff about like the journey. And yeah, even though I have no idea where I'm going, I'm just staying open. And also, one another thing I wanted to share for anyone out there who wants to start creating content, or wants to start putting themselves out there, sharing their light and their voice. I love talking, and I love people listening to me, and I love to listen to people when I'm on their same wavelength. And um, I've been kind of like avoiding making videos, because I've been like, oh, I want to be like in Bali, or I want to be like somewhere tropical. I want to be feeling like I'm in the flow all the time in order to like make these videos and be impactful to people, But um, I realized today when having a conversation with my friend that um, this part of the journey could be, like for me, is really important too, to share where I'm at now, because like I don't need to be at a certain level or a certain destination in order to start to share and to become positively influencing other people or impacting other people and helping them on their journey. Because someone could be going through this right now. I could have this video will be on here forever, so someone could be going through exactly what I'm going through right now, and just need that boost of like relatability, like being, knowing that it's okay to be in complete fear and chaos, and then also have some deeply powerful experiences of magic and love and trust and openness and spiritual essentially ascension. um so yeah, I just wanted to say that if you feel like imposter syndrome of like, I want to be better than I am now in order to start to share myself with the world, um, then you don't have to. I'm here to tell you and myself that it is completely okay for you to share where you're at right now, and actually see because that will help you to see the value in where you are now, because this part of your journey matters too. Like it's not about the destination, it's about where you are right now, and what can you give from this place, what can you share from this place, because this is where you are now, and that's how it is. Like this is what life has served you, so what are you going to do with it? Like how can you work with it? Can you work with that? Like can you find a way to work with it that feels good to you, that feels helpful, that feels expansive, and makes you feel like you're open, because that's honestly, so that's abundance right there. Like that is the abundance energy. That is when you're open and receptive to what life has given you now, rather than being completely focused on what you want in the future. Because it's good to have a vision, and it's good to keep that in the back of your mind, but it's also good to let that go once you know that you've put in the order, and then be where you are now. And right now, I'm in a house that's empty. The painters are here for 2 weeks. I have to take down everything in my room pretty much. Um, Pretty much have to like move out like most of my stuff so that they can paint, which is like super uncomfortable for me because it's like not very practical. For me, like I want to come home to a room that's comfy, but they have to paint the walls, and so they have to come inside, and I have to take down all of my like creations, my decorations, and my safe space, and for a time being, I'm not gonna have. I will have a safe space internally, but externally, there will be a lot of discomfort for me as soon as I start to take apart my room and move my things, and yeah, just like keep letting go and donating stuff. It's super uncomfortable. It's super fucking hard, and I'm not gonna lie, like that's where I'm at right now. Um, yeah, I just have so much like appreciation for the spiritual boosts and guidance that I've been receiving during this time as well, because I'm still open to it. I'm still receiving it, even though I'm under a lot of divine pressure. um, but I'm birthing something beautiful, and I think that I know I'm learning so much on this journey through this real true discomfort. It's really changing my way of seeing the world, and it's really just dissolving and burning up all of my fears, all of the fears that I've held onto for years and years, um, since a baby, since generationally, even like my ancestral line's fears as well. Um, so yeah, like I'm just refusing to take that path of fear again, because I've done it before. I moved house like 5 times last year, four or 5 times last year. Yeah, 5 times I moved into 4 different houses. So 5 times I moved house, and I just did it in a place of fear, escapism, avoidance. I just didn't want to deal with the emotions that were coming with the fear. But that was my mistake, because in that avoidance, I also avoided and was closed off to the the fucking potent spiritual expansion that I am now receiving, because I'm now open to feeling those uncomfortable emotions and just not running away from myself. Like, that's super fucking powerful, man. Like, I didn't realize, and now I realize that on the other side of all of that grossness that you don't want to feel is such power, like true deep power that you probably never felt before. Like, as deep as the fear or the darkness goes, is as bright as the light behind it also goes. You know what I mean? It's equal. So like, if it's super dark, it's the super light on the other side. So all of those times that I've moved house and avoided this darkness within myself, these fears, these doubts, these sadnesses and grief, and all of these things that now I'm moving through, especially grief as well. That's made me see the gift that it truly is that it's causing these things to happen for me, so that I can unlock all of the light that's hidden inside these dark patches of sadness or grief or fear or doubt or whatever the emotion is, or shame even. Any of these emotions that we feel around something that deeply deeply triggers or activates us in some kind of way, charges us, like something that we feel charged about. Like for me, moving house was made me feel charged with a lot of fear energy, with a lot of discomfort energy, and like, yeah, and that charge was telling me something about myself, that I have gifts and blessings and energy and life force to unlock, that have been locked inside these bubbles of fear or bubbles of darkness inside me. And now I'm transmuting them, and it's so beautiful, because my heart is like expanding, and I can feel like myself being able to trust more, and that's such a nice thing to come to on my own. Like, No one can teach that to you, and I'm not trying to teach it to you. I'm just trying to, I guess I'm just wanting to share where I'm at, because I don't know, maybe it will help somebody. Maybe it will help someone out there. And it, if anything, I mean, it helps me. So yes, it's already helping someone, because it helps me, because it helps me to feel heard and to feel seen and to see my life from a true perspective, from a perspective of divine, like the divine, like the magic, like is all around, and I feel magic inside of me, and I see it all around me, and my connection with the universe and with spirit and with my guides and my angels is super fucking strong, super strong right now. And that's all because I've been open, and because I'm doing things to help myself. I'm not running away from myself. I'm actually going through what I need to go through in order to follow my joy, to follow what makes me happy, to follow what I feel excited to follow. You know, what do I want to do in my life? Where do I want to move? What do I want to create? How do I want to spend my time? What kind of people do I want to be around? How do I want to feel around those people? You know, that kind of energy of like, what do I really want? You know, what do I feel would make me really feel good and happy in my life? Like, what kind of a life would I want if I could choose anything, you know? And part of that for me is showing up online exactly as I am, and not trying to be someone that I'm not trying to be like some preacher or someone, an influencer even. Like, I just want to be me. And I do hope that it helps someone, but truly I just want to be received. I just want to be received, and by making this video, I'm receiving myself. I'm actually doing this for me, because it makes me feel good to share these videos, and also to look back on them in the future and see how far I've come, and even just to reflect now on, like, these videos help me to reflect. When I'm talking, I start to see things in a broader point of view, and I start to reflect more truthfully and more deeply from an objective point of view, where I'm actually at in my life, and I can see things clearer, and I can see from a wider range. And it's like, it helps me to realize how actually far I've come, and how much I'm growing, and how much is changing and for the better, and how everything's unfolding like in the most magical, beautiful ways. And how I had no idea of any of this until I jump on the video and start talking, and then I'm like, oh, well, I did have an idea obviously, but I didn't realize the grander picture. And then coming on here helps me to do that as well. So it's a real blessing to be able to come on here and share with all of you my journey. And yeah, I love that. I love that I'm able to do that. And I just think it makes me feel good. I want to do it. I want to show up online. I want to be loved for who I am. I want to be I want my words to be taken seriously, you know. I want to recognize myself for how far I've come, and for the truths that I've learned. And I want to share those truths. I want to share what I'm learning and what I'm going through, because in 10, 15, even 30 years' time, I'm going to look back on this and be like, whoa, you know, like, it's so beautiful, the journey that I've been on. And the only way to really document that for me is like showing up online, and because online is forever. So like, I'll never lose, because I have a difficult time with like phones at the moment. So like, you know, trying to keep photos and media and stuff is kind of hard for me. But I can do it on my laptop. I can make videos, and I can put them online, and they're there forever, and I can always look back on them as like a visual diary, you know. And yeah, I will look back on this right now, like 24, when I'm older, and I'll look back on this video, and I'm just imagining like my older self looking back and being like, oh, yeah, and just be able to see where I am able to get to, and how inspiring I actually am. Like, I feel inspired by my own attitude and my own ability to just completely open my heart to the universe, even though it's not something I can see or physically touch. It's like, it's just something that I'm trusting. I'm just faithful, and I can't see, like, I can see obviously, but like, I see, but it's still, there's still an element of unknown because I don't know, I can't access my exact life plan. I can't access exactly what's going to happen next. I don't know, and that's part of the human process. And if you were to know, then it wouldn't be part of the game. You wouldn't really be in the game if you already knew the next step all the time. Or like if you knew how the whole game was going to play out, like you know the next step usually, but the whole game is a mystery. The whole like tapestry of your life story is still being written, it's still unwritten. And so yeah, I don't want to know, I don't need to know, but I'm just opening my heart um, to that. And sometimes I do want to know, sometimes I do feel like I need to know, sometimes I feel like I need to know in order to feel safe. But now I'm starting to realize I need to source my safety from somewhere else, not from knowing what's going to happen, but from knowing that I'll be okay, from knowing that deeply within me I am love, and that if I just focus on that, on the true me, on the light within me, on my essence, my true inner light, that everything else will be okay. Everything else will work out around me eventually. That all I need to do is just focus on my light, focus on me and what I am, what I truly am. And then everything around me will just manifest how the divine would have it, how would God choose this for me? What would the being that loves me the most in this world, the consciousness that is aware of everything and loves unconditionally, what would that being do for me? What would that being choose for me, And truly that is me, that being, but also on a grander scale it's like God or source energy, like love, the true essence of love. Like what would that energy choose for my life? Of course it would choose the best possible, the absolute best possible, because it loves me. So I'm just trusting in that because I just am. Yes. So yes, I don't think I have anything else substantial that I wanted to say, but I just felt a lot of like a lot of energy coming down from my, I think my highest, from just spirit, from everyone. And if you're not connected to your spirit guides, I suggest you have a chat with them, or like your angels, or your higher self, or whoever you feel most connected to, even your ancestors of the light, like that are well. Yeah, or your, spirit animal, even. Connect with your divine team of support if you don't already, because I really feel like my openness to talking and receiving help from my spirit guides, asking for help from my angels, the ascended masters, the spirit realm. I speak with the spirit realm and they speak to me, and that helps me so much because I feel so much more protected. I don't feel so alone. I feel safe. I feel good. And I can't imagine what it would be like not to have them. I've known what it's like not to have the awareness of them. They've always been there, but I didn't have any awareness of them. And I knew it was a really scary place to be. And so if you do feel the call, I would recommend just speaking to them, like start talking, start opening a bit of a connection with them. It comes from you. They're always trying to connect with you, but the the connection starts with you and your free will to connect with them, to do so. So yeah, make the call. Call them, call on them, like speak to them as if you would speak to a friend in the room with you. Just imagine that they're in the room with you and they're listening, and just say what you want to say. Ask them for help. You can ask them for anything. You can just treat it like a therapy session, or you can treat it like a prayer. It doesn't have to be like an official like prayer like this, but it can be just like I want to receive this. Can you please help me? I want to do this. Can you please help me with that? I want to work on this, or this is my goal. Can you please help me with that? Can you guys give me some solutions for this, or this? Can I please have some solutions? Can you please show me the way? I don't know what to do. Can you please help me? Like, help me make this decision. You know, anything. You can ask them for anything you want, anything at all. Anything that makes you feel stressed out about dealing with alone, ask them for help, because the answer might not come straight away. It does sometimes. Sometimes it comes in a couple of days. Sometimes it comes in, you know, once you've forgotten about it, then the answer comes. Like, it can come at any time. It's spontaneous. So don't expect an answer straight away or like a loud voice in your head, but it can happen that way. But just be open to receiving messages in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, so just be open. That's probably my last message for you guys, is be open to the spirit realm support, because those beings, they love you. They love you so much, and they want to support you. They are your, like, your army in a way. They're like your spiritual army. But they're not there to fight. They're there to help, to boost you, to guide you, to help you, um, to show you the way, to help you through this, because helping you helps them. And they love to do it. So yeah, I'm going to close this video. Thank you so much for listening. It's so nice to be able to share my journey, where I'm at, and to realize that it's okay to just share where I'm at and be where I am and be present with that. And just to be able to look on this later and see how far I've come, and how many transformations that I'm going through. So I hope that this inspires someone, because it's really inspired me. And yes, until next time, I'm going to make a commitment to myself now, that I want to start showing up more as I am, as I want to, as what feels good for me, and trust that the right people will be guided to this. My soul tribe will be guided to me, and to the things that to the light that I'm sharing, and to the struggles that I'm sharing. And, you know, yeah, I just trust that. I'm trusting that, and I'm just going to show up as me from now on, not trying to be someone who I'm not, or trying to be someone, something that I'm not really. So I'm just going to be me, and I hope you enjoy. And if not, that's okay. Then it's not the place for you. That's okay. Yeah. So thank you, and I'll see you next time. I'm gonna press stop.